Hey, it's Jeff with ID10T Garage, and we're back out here working on the '69 Mustang. So this week we're going to focus on getting the sheet metal fit right. So we're going to get the wheel housing sealed up. We're going to get the quarter back on. We're going to make sure we get it all fitting the way it's supposed to. We're going to work on getting the back all fit properly, making sure that we, get our panels centered, get them straightened up, get them aligned right, get the, just everything's got to be fit before we start welding. We want to make sure everything's in its place and sheet metal screw it together before we even consider welding things together. I still got to get the door on, so that's going to be a part of it. I don't know if we'll get to that this week or not, but that's part of what's going on. So let's get to it.
I've been dreaming on in my head like I've seen it. A life worth living is a life with meaning. I'll do what I love till my heart stops beating. I'm feeding this demon. Got a taste, can't erase bitterness in my face. Work a job every day till your dreams fade away. Like a card, never change, play the game that we say.
Hey everybody, we're back out here. About to start throwing some seam sealer on this bad boy. Make sure we get this sealed up real good before we start really, getting this quarter fitted again. So that's what we're about to do. So let's get to it. All right, there we go. I coated the shit out of it like I always do on this outside. So anywhere I weld and there's going to be any kind of gaps or anywhere moisture could get in, I want to seam seal it and make sure we prevent moisture and rust from getting in. So inside, outside, and also we got in here in the tubs where we mesh it together. Now it's sloppy as always, and I still got to weld these bottom sections in, so I didn't go all the way down. But as you can see, where they mesh together, I got that too, because we don't want water and moisture getting in between the two of them and causing any kind of issues there. Now I'm waiting on some more, some weld through primer for in here, but yeah, that's pretty much the deal. I'm not sure. I have to let this dry now before I can really put the quarter on or anything. So I don't want to rush ahead. And like I said, I'm waiting on some weld through primer for in there. So we got to figure out what to work on next. Yo, we're back out here working on the '69 Mustang. Well, I went ahead and primed the rocker area. It's not perfect, but now we can put our quarter panel back on, so that's what we're about to start working on. I'm not exactly sure what else we'll do today. It's another hot day out here in Nashville, and it gets to you quickly, so I don't know exactly what the plan is. I might start tearing some stuff back apart, take these fenders off, vice versa, but it's a lot of stuff to do one way or another, so let's get to it. Alright, so I've got the quarter fit on. Got some sheet metal screws in there. I still just working away on this thing now. Obviously this corner needs a screw in it to hold it in place, but I got this shaved down a little bit so where it sits nice and flush when I pinch it there. Obviously it's not completely put in place. I don't have the bottom hooked up on either side because I'm going to get my valence, and when I put my valence on here I'm going to line everything up that way. I don't want to have any weird gaps, so I'll put everything together once I had that rear valence on. I went ahead and fit my end caps on my quarter extensions, so I'll be fitting the trunk lid sometime soon and making sure we get a nice flush fitment there. I'm trying to decide whether I want to use my stock one, which will probably line up with these better, or go with my new Dynacorn trunk lid to see how it fits, because I have that as well. So yep. Alright, I've just got it setting in place. It's missing a bolt in this back corner, so it's kind of really just one bolt here, one bolt there. Gaps aren't perfect. This gap's a little bit wonky here. It's a little tighter right here. But for the most part, I mean, it looks pretty good. Yet again, it's just setting in place. My corner down here is bent, so I'm going to have to unbend that. So I'm not too mad about the gaps, although this gap is pretty freaking big. So I don't know what exactly I can do about that, because I mean it's okay here all the way down until we get to the actual extension. Now the extension is probably not in tight enough either, especially here in the back side, but this corner is a bit of the issue. And with it just kind of sitting there, you never know. It might be just a little bit of a tweak. So I just pushed it over a little bit just then to see if that does anything, and it doesn't look like it did. But I mean, this is a Dynacorn deck lid. It's not going to be perfect no matter what. It's going to be really hard to, unless I do some metal work. Like this gap is, I like this gap. Right here is real nice. It's pretty even side to side. It's just this little back section. So either this cap is weird or what. And that kind of makes me wonder if I should get some Dynacorn end caps. Just because, I mean, everything else is, well, this is Goodmark quarter panels. It's a Dynacorn deck lid. These are factory end caps. And it might be easier to get the end caps that match the deck lid, because I've heard the curvature is a little bit different, so that could be throwing things off a little bit. But I mean, for the most part, you know, it looks pretty good. So I'm pretty happy with that. I also got my other deck lid I can go test fit, but I'm probably going to go order some bolts and so on. I also don't like the inner part of the hinges isn't exactly sitting in place. So I mean, and these hinges technically aren't welded, so this bolt just doesn't tighten up like it should. So I don't like that, so I might get some more of the inner pieces there. But down in here, these are just screwed in right now. That way I can make some adjustments to these as they sit, and not have to worry too much. So just more side to side before I weld them in. I want to try to see what I can do. But as you see right now, and I don't know if that's because, yeah, it's because this thing is not bolted in here in the back because I'm missing a bolt. You know, it looks kind of funky when you open it. So, but yeah, I think I'm gonna go order some bolts and some new brackets for here so I can get this cinched in and make sure I've got things lined up the way I want. And I'm probably gonna check the quarters extensions to see how much they cost. So, all right, later. Hey everybody, we're out here looking at these quarter panels have is on this side, this bottom section isn't in all the way it needs to be. So this should be almost matching up to the indentation on my quarter extension, and it's off about 1/4 inch. So what tells me is this isn't in far enough, which means this probably needs to be trimmed and brought over here on the bottom. So that's what we're going to work on. So let's get to it. Well, I've been working on this and I'm not quite happy with it at all, and I've come to the realization I don't think my taillight panel is centered properly. So I've taken all the screws out and I've got the taillight panel loose so I can try to figure out where center is. So that's what's next, and I just got to figure out where to center it with. So that's going to be interesting. But anyways, I'm done for the day. It's just too damn hot out here. 100+ degree heat index, so time for a break. Hey everybody, it's another hot steamy day out here in Nashville, and I've been out here working off camera because I've been having camera problems, honestly. I switched back to one of my old cameras and its battery just keeps dying on me, so I didn't get a lot recorded from the other day, or at least don't know how much I got recorded from the other day because I haven't downloaded that stuff yet. But I came out here today and just been doing fitment work. So really what I did is I took the end quarter extension brackets and the tail panel completely off, fit them together by themselves. Then I centered the taillight panel because I believe it was off center quite a bit. Maybe it was about 1/4 inch to the other side, maybe a little bit more. So I recentered it, got everything back and fit. Then I fit my valence, and it's not perfect. And obviously I don't have these end pieces in, but you know, we've got it pretty decently fitting. It's a little bit weird on either side, but for the most part, it's way closer than it was the other day. Like this side's real nice, but these things are known for being weird anyways. But I got them nice and tight and close. Now my actual pieces that the screw in bottom pieces that hold it tight up against that don't quite line up right, but that could just simply be the holes aren't properly fit. And this side's still off a little bit. This side really, it doesn't go where it's supposed to be, but I mean that's going to be the case time you do these. You're never going to get everything perfect. As you can see, this is pulled in a lot right there, but I'm a lot happier. I feel like the car is looking a little bit flatter now. I was a 1/2 inch off on the one side, and it might still be from the frame rail standpoint, but my taillight panel was also down a little bit on the one side, so it wasn't quite flush with the rear rail piece, but it's pretty nicely fit now. I feel like it looks pretty good, so pretty happy, but still tons of work to do. Just wanted to give an update. Hey everybody, we got a lot of work done this week. Not as much as I want, as always. I ended up having to, pull the whole rear end apart multiple times and, just really work hard on that fitment. The tail panel wasn't centered the way it needed to be. The end quarter extension brackets that go on there and go between the quarters and the tail quarter extensions were not quite the way they were supposed to be, so we had to refit everything. Then once I did that and got everything put back together, we got our valence on and it's fitting pretty good. So we're getting everything where we need to be. Is everything lined up with the quarters? I think next step is going to be I'm going to probably put the door on the driver's side so we can start setting up the alignment there. Then we can, you know, pull these fenders off as part of that and then put them back on, making sure everything just fits right. So we got to get everything lined up, make sure once we reassemble everything and get it welded on that, you know, I can get my lines properly set and everything's going to fit the way we want. So that's what's coming up. So just a lot of work as always. And like, subscribe, comment. Let's hear from you. So we'll see you next week.
I've been dreaming on in my head like I've seen it. A life worth living is a life with meaning. I'll do what I love till my heart stops beating. I'm feeding this demon. Got a taste, can't erase bitterness in my face. Work a job every day till your dreams fade away. Like a card, never change, but